he's going to love this overall. Seems like Chua kind of picks up the speed as the match goes on the breaking end. See the 2-ball comes some 3 cushions up the table. He's got a great starter. He can cue the ball nicely. I think he's got enough angle to kind of come 2 rails towards the 7-8 with the cue ball. And really for the first shot of the match, it's kind of for a long one exactly what you want. Didn't really have to put a bunch of spin on the ball, and very natural path.
This is what you call an ideal introduction.
Johann Chua wins the round.
Very good indeed.
Sometimes you'll see a little curve on the 1-ball as it heads towards the side. That's what the players don't want. They want just a direct path. All right, caught that one a little thin, but he won't mind with the 2 dressing up again.
The other sign of a competent rack is when the 9-ball doesn't move a great deal, and that one didn't.
Yeah, and you'll see the one when the timing's really good, and you'll see it when SVB gets to break the balls, and I'm sure that will happen. The 1 exits pretty quickly. None quicker than when SVB breaks maybe a Kachi. All right, little thin here. He's going to have to hold some type of short side for the 3. Doesn't want to get over the 9. Okay, he's all right. He's got the bottom of the cue ball. He's really got all the options. He's going to come short side. He's going to get just past it enough. We always know about Chua. He's not afraid of the thin ones. Nice recovery on the 7. And if he gets out here, that can do a lot for his confidence moving forward.
The 9 should be okay, but there's the question mark of the cue ball being glued to the side cushion.
Johann Chua
A break and run out again.
Push out call.
So in 9-ball pool, when you've not got a shot on after the break, you can push out. And the intricacies are multiple. Tell us about it, Jeremy.
Yeah, after the break and only after the break. You
Shane,
declare a
it's your
push
choice.
out if you don't like your situation. Even if you can see the ball, sometimes you don't
Play
like
again,
it.
please, Johann.
And you can see that Shane, the incoming player, whether it's the breaker or the player off of a dry break, they can push out, and then the incoming player has the option to either take the shot or pass it back. Huge part of the game.
And there was no hesitation there from Van Boening whatsoever. He just didn't like it. Smelly, he thought. So let
Foul shots.
Chua take it on. He played it
Ball in hand.
razor thin, didn't make any contact
Please
at
start
all.
the clock.
And that could be the turning point.
Yeah, it's, I tell you, Shane, I think, probably saying to himself while Chua was figuring out where to push, if it was anything delicate, he was going to pass it. Wow. So now does he kill it or does he draw across?
Cue ball again, lost by Van Boening to the extent he's fully hooked himself. He took the extension. He's allowed 1 30-second extension per rack, but it didn't work out. Well, that worked out.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it played out exactly, but you could hear it was hit with some speed. So obviously it was a very heavy contact on the 8, and maybe the
Extension called.
like that, and the 8 ball banking around. And you'll notice that 7 earlier caught a little thick to the pocket, so he was trying to come back across. Going for the jump cue. Easy to maybe double jump this 8. Is this going to be playable? It looks to me at first glance, it got a little odd. If it banks cross side, he will play it.
So often, Shane Van Boening is double trouble for his opponents. But this 9 ball is by no means a certainty. I'm still very surprised he missed it. You know, Johann Chua potted every ball in the first 2 racks. This rack will hurt Van Boening even more.
Yeah, when you're close to the ball, you can sometimes get a little more grab, kind of contact on the 9. You can see it send it to the low point. These tables all week have made that ball
Johann
pretty
Chua
much hang. We
wins the
saw it
round.
with Josh Filler.
Johann Chua has made the perfect start. Shane Van Boening a little disgusted the 9 ball remained on the table. Chua leads 3-0.
Now, does he try to go 4 rails here? It's kind of in between. I think if he tries to go 4 cushions, this ball could hook a little bit.
Extension
He could
call.
threaten that upper left corner with the cue ball. Yeah, it looks like he's just floating it with some spin. Oh, he did go 4, so he's trying to kill it. He's played a couple of those shots already, Phil.
Just thinking this is prime time TV viewing in the Philippines, and they will be loving this. This 9 ball will not be missed.
Johann Chua wins the round.
0 for Shane Van Boening. Already 4 for Johann Chua.
You can see he's going to take a good effort at trying to kick this ball in as well. Hopefully we'll get another look at that red 3, because he had to bend the cue ball with draw spin. That's why he hit it lightly. I'm surprised he didn't hit that with more speed, though, like a draw maybe, trying to get the cue ball to go up table.
Considering the scoreboard, this is an opportunity Van Boening must bury.
Okay. Yeah, watch the overhead. You can see it arc right there, almost over arc the ball. Now Shane's going to feel a little pressure on this game right here, of course, after a mistake and a deficit. But if he can get through this rack and get on the breaking end, I think things start to become a little relieved. I probably play a little from underneath the 7, trying to lay the cue ball on the side rail. I don't like coming 2 cushions above. Yeah, he's coming 2 cushions softly underneath it. Perfect, really. Maybe a little more than he wanted. I think there's angle there. Little distance. Does he have an angle to easily stun over for the 9 in the side? Otherwise, he's got to really work the cue ball.
Now, it might seem ludicrous, but it's true. Even a shot like this to these middle pockets has to be treated with the utmost respect. In it goes. Here's the first semi-final where you get the feeling Shane Van Boening is on the comeback trail.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
That was unfortunate. A momentum stopper.
Yeah, much better, or much more of what he wanted, the connection on the rack, making 2 balls on the break. Super unlucky with the cue ball.
The extension was available, so why not utilize it? Just wanted to make absolutely sure that the shot he's playing is the correct one. Wanted to make sure that the cue ball was cleaned as well to make it a nice, sweet contact.
That's what I was thinking. I was curious that why he didn't come a little further down the table with the cue ball, just kind of laid up on the 6. Because it was kind of tight getting in there at the 7, right? So you want to be able to chip more off the left side. Should make this though, but the 9's going to be tricky.
Yes, a much tougher 9 ball than the one Shane Van Boening missed in rack 3.
I think he's got to take this to the corner on the bottom of your screen. It's a scratch to the opposite one there in the middle with the cue ball.
You know, yesterday in the quarterfinals, he missed an 8 ball, rolling it very quietly. And that was very similar.
Yeah, I really think the beep's got him there a little bit because, I mean, you might not want to fire it, of course, and lose accuracy, but to hit it that light.
Extension called.
4 seconds left. Extension called. He didn't want to take it, but felt the necessity.
Yeah, and anytime you're edging the ball, you first off just got to trust what you see, and the stroke means a lot.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
Well, I think it's fair to say that one did not
Please
go
start the
according to
clock.
plan.
No, he couldn't roll out too easy on it. I mean, it had to be very difficult, or Chua takes it on himself. A couple ball in hands here the last few games for Chua. One off of unlucky scratch on the break, and now a mistake off a push-out. Maybe makes some trouble. Oh, he's cueing downward.
And even the last little semblance of side helped, taking the cue ball away from the 7. That was a true crowd pleaser.
Yeah, you're right there, Phil. And I tell you, if you're off just a hair on that shot, you kind of look a little amateurish with your decision. And just hit it beautifully, got everything out of the cue ball.
The only person watching who didn't like that is called Shane.
We can tell compared to yesterday, much more freed up, confident.
Johann Chua wins the round.
I think he recognized he didn't want to go offensive, but did he really survey the options tactically?
Okay, then, that's the way you want to play it. What a shot. That was impudence.
Yeah, well, I think all of us, we've been talking about Chua, or we do talk about Chua every time he makes an event, that the more of them he makes, he's going to go up the ranks. That's how good he is.
Extension called.
Definitely a top 10 guy, I think. He's starting to show us more of that every match he plays here on the World 9-Ball Tour. Not the big one.
Maybe someone at the start of the week told Johann Chua that the signage around the set was actually misspelt. Maybe they told him it was the World Cup, because this is reminiscent of what he did there.
3 rails around the 8. Like I said yesterday, though, Phil, he really has those soft hands, moves the cue ball easily. Seems like he barely hits the cue ball. Gets so much movement.
Well, this has been one of the most memorable racks, I think, of the entire year. And what a statement it sends.
Yeah, and really didn't mess around. You know, kind of realized that Shane, you know, is going to make a real good decision if there's any safety on that push out. So immediately went to the end rail. Maybe kind of knowing Shane might give that back. And Chua didn't mind it.
Johann Chua.
Shane Van Boening is an all-time great, but Johann Chua so far is playing great.
Okay, had to gamble a little bit there. The gamble has paid off. Now, can he get by the pink to come across this one and maybe just subtly go over to the left side of the table with the cue ball? Okay, he's going to go for the make. Thought he'd kick across this. Yeah, Shane looking to knock this one away between the 2 and 6, go to the side rail and kill the cue ball behind the blue. It's a shot you just got to get the feel for. Had the 3 and 7 to help him, and distance just in case he leaves the one.
Yes, and the 4's doing his bidding as well.
don't really see much future going at the one directly. What these players will evaluate is, am I better off going to the rail first? Trying to kick one rail at it using the 7 and the 3. It's no good, I don't think.
Foul
Yet.
shot. Ball in hand.
Now, we saw a
Please start the clock.
terrific dish in the previous rack from Chua. Can Van Boening work his magic?
Yeah, and he got a little thinner and he wanted to make collide with the 8 and still get up table. Okay, really good. One of the best strokes of the match there for Shane. Got a lot out of the cue ball.
When you think Chua's thrown an awful lot at Van Boening, and yet SVB remains very much in the reckoning. Again, though, a ball under pressure that can possibly go astray. But this is Shane Van Boening we're talking about.
As Julian just said, only trails by 2 games, and he's on the breaking end. He just smashes him. The one just exits so quickly. And what also amazes all of us that I think we don't talk about enough that we used to with Shane and like a Kachi who really unloads is you're cutting the ball, right? You know, people don't realize when these guys pick up the speed and they're breaking the balls, the cue ball actually gets off the surface a little bit. So to constantly be able to cut the rack like that with so much power and not occasionally knock the cue ball off the table is pretty amazing to me.
This is the very best kind of match. Quality and close.
Yeah, for sure. These two guys are heated up. Gotta go a little bit. It's gonna get him a little like that 9 early in the match. Cutting it backwards. Not as much stretch, but a little thinner.
Hung it to the opposite corner pocket in rack 3. And would you believe, while not hanging the ball over the pocket this time, it does go astray again, overcutted by some way.
Extension called.
Yeah, let up on the downswing a bit. What happens is you just kind of break down with the back elbow and tip comes up a hair.
Missed it on the way. What a big shot now coming up. The previous miss will be erased from his memory if this goes in. If he misses again, the mistake will be compounded. Shane Van Boening twice missing the 9-ball. What a crucial juncture of the match.
Johann Chua wins the round.
Chua delighted.
Big bend in the cue ball. Now, does he try to come back to get the natural angle, or does he just lay up for a cut to run the cue ball up the table and back down for the green 6 off the purple 5? Got to get the pink first. Yeah, I was going to say, can't look past that. Now's your chance, Shane.
He's been so reliable, so accurate. But you can't keep potting them.
Extension called.
Yeah, like I said, I really don't like trying to get back behind the purple 5 for a natural position. I like just coming across, taking the thin cut. You can run the cue ball off the purple 5 around the 7 and then a couple rails back down. Now he'll probably use the right side rail as a third cushion, a little bit of a reference. May play from underneath to play the 9 in the upper left corner where he's standing. No reason to really move the cue ball.
Hard to imagine this 9-ball will be troublesome.
Shane Van Boening wins the round. Foul shot.
That is just
Bowling
spiteful.
Yeah, I almost feel bad for bringing it up, to be honest with you, prior, but that
start the
does
clock.
happen in this game. Unfortunate things to all players, but that's why those games earlier are so crucial when you have the chance. That way maybe you can afford something unlucky later in the match.
Johann Chua wins the
Taking
round.
full advantage.
Got to play the cut shot.
Well, not the most penetrating safety Van Boening has ever played, was it?
No, and he's not looking at a jumper. Oh, he is looking at a little bit of a jump. So it must just be a sliver. He actually curved it a little bit and kind of threw the ball in with left English. One of the shots of the match, Phil.
That's a hugely important moment. That tells us he can see enough of the 7 to coax it in.
I think he's got to use a portion of the pocket.
Johann Chua
Shane Van
wins the
Boening
round.
in all sorts of trouble. Grabber. He won 10-9. Here, though, for Shane Van Boening to turn this around, he has to win the next 6 racks.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, was he going to get out of his chair? And I tell you, it doesn't play by the green 6, the blue 2, but it does go cross corner, I think, Phil. And you know what kind of player we have at the table? One of the most aggressive on the planet. I think he takes this on. I really do. That's what he's sizing up. The bank right now, position on the red 3 is automatic. I think he's supposed to shoot it, really. Did he get snookered? Stunned it a little bit, and I don't think he's on the red 3. The pink 4 just got it in the way. It's going to be a heck of a stretch for Chua. Oh, no, he does have it.
Well, I was with you there, Jeremy. The way he turned around suggested disgust.
Well, like I said earlier, I mean, they're here. But this is a dangerous guy for him to start to get settled in these World 9-Ball Tour events for the rest of these fields and for years to come. If he gets a few of these types of matches in the big moments where he really gets loose, that's something he can reflect on, and I really believe he'll fly up the rankings.
World number 14 right now in the World 9-Ball Tour list. Victory here, and he'll be ensconced in the top 10, which I think, given his
Make sure your phones are on
upside,
silent, please.
given his remarkable skills, the top 10 is where he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about, you know, maybe a little light on the personal achievements. It's because he's a family man and, of course, loves his country, the Philippines, and just doesn't go abroad outside of Asia that often. I think that's going to start to change more of these great events coming. And wants the cue ball clean. I think he still has his extension real natural from the 7 to the 8 with the 9 hanging over the left middle.
Called.
When the analysis of this match is done, of course, SVB's missed 9 balls will be scrutinised. Of course, scratching on the break will be talked about. Not once but twice, unluckily. But the overriding factor in this result, if Chua does pot the next 2 balls, will be he has played one heck of a match.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and you're going to see.
Yes.
Yeah, he always, once he dresses up on the 9 to win, there's a little celebration, and why not?
In 9 previous encounters, Shane Van Boening has given Johann Chua a world of hurt. This time, tables are turned. Johann Chua defeats SVB 11-5, and there is the family man.